Hannah was on the front steps of the temple, and she was weeping. And Elkanah, her husband, said to her, "Dear, why are you weeping?" "Because I don't have any children." Eli then came by, and he saw her mumbling and not saying anything at all. And he said to her, "Are you drunk, woman?" "No, I'm praying to God to give me a child." Eli said to her, "God will grant your wish." Soon Hannah had a son, and she named him Samuel. She had promised God that if he gave her a son, she would give him back to God. Hannah now was joyous, and she sang and praised God, her heart rejoicing in the Lord. For she said, "The Lord now is my horn, and I exalt him. My mouth is enlarged over my enemies, because I rejoice in thy salvation." Samuel, the little boy who would live in the temple, you could see him running around the pillars and up and down the stairs. Eli the priest taking care of him. One night, little Samuel is sleeping, and he hears a voice. "Samuel! Samuel!"
"Here am I,"
said Samuel. He runs to Eli and says,
"Who was that calling me? Was that you, Eli?"
"No, go back to bed." Through the night, this happens many times. "Samuel must be an angel speaking to you," Eli said. So then, as Samuel lay back in his little bed, and God then says to him, "Samuel, Samuel, you have an anointing, and I will give you the future of Eli's life, what will happen to him, and then to Israel." Samuel woke up, and he knew that God was choosing him. The very last judge of Israel, Samuel the prophet, Israel was looking out to other nations around them, and they saw that the other nations had kings. And so they came to Samuel and said, "We need a king." And so God chose a man by the name of Saul, who stood head and shoulders above all others in Israel. Samuel anointed Saul's head, and Saul became king. But Saul soon realized that he had to lean on God to become king. The first battle came along. They won the battle. God said, "Don't take the spoils." But Saul did take the spoils of that battle and went and made a sacrifice to God. And God said to him through Samuel, "To obey is better than sacrifice." And at that point, Samuel told Saul that the kingdom would be taken from him. Saul disobeyed God, and soon he was to fall upon his own sword with his son Jonathan beside him. He didn't listen to God, and now another king was to be chosen.